Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the weekly show with Aditya. A half an hour show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. India's number one podcast with India's number one host, Aditya, in association with Dusra.net, the number one website in sports, education, and entertainment. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my listeners all over the world. This is your host Aditya, and I welcome you to episode 94, the last episode of July. On Wednesdays, I generally talk about WWE, and my listeners had mailed me as they wanted to know more about what is this, what is the background of WWE. WWE, also known as World Wrestling Entertainment, was known before as WWF, is a private wrestling entertainment company, an episodic show which is aired all over the globe on Mondays and Tuesdays, or depending in which part of the world you are in. The days will differ accordingly. So now the question is, why am I interested? To me, this is like a 3-hour movie with a bit of theater as it is produced live, unlike the franchise based leagues where we have auctions and we select players for a particular state or a particular team. And we also know that these leagues are based on seasons. By seasons, I mean they come twice a year or after every 6 months. These leagues take the route of auctions to get players for their team. This is where WWE differs. The only common link between this company and the franchise based league is that both of them are private. The players or the wrestlers of whichever sport we have leagues for and they recruit the same, they are already established national players or at the most retired in that particular domain. Another similarity is that these leagues and WWE are far removed from the state based or national championship. They are self financed through ticketing and other methods. Since it involves a large crew apart from the individuals performing on the stage, they have become a good source of living. Since we have added the letter E to this, which means entertainment, it lives up to that name. We use this term a masala movie, it has all the aspects of it: drama, emotions, relationships, performances. It is all juxtaposed into one. Well, WWE isn't the only one which has this sort of a system. There is another one called the Lucha Libre, the Lucha Underground, that is the Spanish wrestlers. Then we have the TNA, Total Non-Stop Action. So these are some other companies which rival WWE. But WWE has some aspects which take it above and beyond their rivals. When you see these individuals addressing 70,000 people directly, it can be a game changer for an individual. One of the very few sports where the sports person or the wrestler addresses the audience directly and time again thanks them for their support and their presence. In other sports, it does not happen unless you are interviewed about it. Is it scripted? Yes, it is. As I mentioned before, it is an episodic telecast. But unlike TV shows which are recorded, this one is live, so there are some moments of improvisation and impromptu. One can argue that there is violence in this. Well, that depends on what is your definition of violence. It depends from person to person if you enjoy this or not. There are a few things which we can unlearn and a few things which we can learn. So, what do the wrestlers gain when they come to such companies? Well, after performing at the state and national level, and even for some at the Olympic level, this is a kind of a relaxing stage. Here they can perform without any inhibitions. And as a practice, we all want to do that. So even after all this, you still don't need the field to watch it. Well, don't. I have my reasons for enjoying this. Maybe you will have your reasons for not wasting your time. So it differs from individual to individual. It is a personal choice. As I already reiterated, I have my reasons for watching, you will have yours. I watch it for the same reasons we watch a movie. And we are aware of the fact that everything happening in the movie is a result of computer generated images. The entire 2.5 hour production is scripted. There is actually no one dying or no one hurt badly. So if a movie entertains you despite knowing all this and the fact that you don't allow the story of the movie to affect you, then in that situation I rest my case. Now let's get more specific. I can presume that most of my listeners must have seen the Fast and Furious movies, and those who have followed this franchisee diligently would know and remember that from the fifth edition, a new character became the part of that team. The screen name of that character was Luke Hobbs, and his real name is Dwayne Johnson. And those who also know about this individual, he was a former wrestler known as The Rock. Whoever listening to this podcast will go and watch this movie are aware of this particular actor's past credentials. And since Fast 5, he has become an important part of the team and the story. So essentially, you are watching a WWE wrestler, let's say a semi-retired wrestler, in his new avatar, though he has been doing this over the past 20 years. So whatever action scenes you witness are either performed by their body doubles or specialized stuntmen or women, or CGI, that is computer generated images. And I am sure you will enjoy all the violence, the car sequences, the car chases, cars blowing up, etc. And you will not feel it is a part of violence. And most will probably forget the minute they leave the hall. And then, for the same reasons, I enjoy WWE. The only difference being there are no CGIs. Every stunt performed by these wrestlers is performed by these wrestlers. There are no body doubles. Since it's a live show, there is no time for any editing or computer generated images. But these are my reasons. You all may have different reasons for not watching the same. And if this violence in WWE scares you, then I think UFC is not your cup of tea. By UFC, I mean mixed martial arts. It's a little different here. It's like boxing but without any protection. In this case, they are bare feet. They are not wearing any headgear like we see in boxing. And if you happen upon to see what happens there, it might scare you even more. But I leave it to you. This Wednesday special is not going anywhere. There is one practice which various sporting leagues can adapt, especially in India, if they want their product and if they want their league to become a brand for years to come. One of the ways is creating a video game, be it the Kabaddi League or the Ultimate Tennis Championship or the Pro Wrestling League. In the same way we have FIFA. These leagues can go in that direction as well. Release a video game before every season or a VR version of it. So anyone who is not involved or not playing, they can also interact live with the players or simply just play the game. This is a good marketing strategy. And if their target audience are kids, it might just push the kids to play that particular sport when they grow up. Other marketing tactics could be selling merchandises. That's self-explanatory. Other ways could be to transform from a season-based sport to an episodic based interactive session. It means during the off seasons they invite the fans to come and meet the players, interact with them face to face, take their autographs and be in their world. It might just make us an empathetic audience, but let these leagues or these companies decide what they want to do. Let's go back to this movie Hobbs and Shaw. It's a part of the Fast and Furious franchise, but the characters, the story is far removed from the Fast and Furious franchise. Except for Jason Statham, Helen Mirren, and Dwayne Johnson, none of the other popular characters of the Fast and Furious movies are present here. The focus is solely on these two characters who in the past have had a strange relationship and how alliances can be formed when you have a common rival. If interested, you can check my movie review this coming Monday. Next Wednesday, we shall talk about the SummerSlam pay-per-view, and I hope those who were unaware of the background of this company are now knowledgeable about the same. Thank you for listening to part 1 of this episode. Stay tuned for part 2. Welcome to part 2 of the 94th episode of the weekly show with Aditya. With just 6 episodes remaining for the ultimate episode, that is the 100th episode celebration. Please send your emails as to what you liked about these episodes and what would you want to see more. We have a lot of exciting matches coming this weekend. The Ashes begins from tomorrow, and it is important in the context that the 3 players who were suspended last year for ball tampering will feature in a match together for the first time in a year. And finally, they have allowed players' names on the back of the t-shirts. At least that's some progress. Why did it take them so long to adapt this method is baffling. They need to get out of this mindset to protecting test matches. You want more crowds? Change the rules. For example, wides down the leg side should be given as wides and put in the extras column. Free hits of no balls, fielding restrictions, power play. In short, a test match should become a one-day match played over 5 days. Instead of having 3 sessions, we can have 2 sessions of 45 over each. The day and night test match experiment was brilliant, but instead of playing with white clothes and a pink ball, one should play with colored clothing and a white ball. The DRS should be unlimited. The 15-second rule is absolutely fantastic. Each team should play either 3 matches or 5 matches, means only in the odd number and no even number, as even numbers don't bring fair results. For example, if a series is at 1-all in a 2-match series, the third match would give an opportunity to either teams to bring about the result. If in a 4-match series it stands at 2-all, then we would need the 5th match to decide the results. So yes, it's either 3 matches or 5 matches. If this means no 20 overs or 50 overs matches will be scheduled, then so be it. There should be no concept of draw. For example, if a team needs 385 to win and they finish at 350 for 9, then ideally they lose by 35 runs. Draw is demoralizing, and for such changes we need to get out of our conservative and thick-skinned approach towards this particular format. This mindset that this player can only play test matches or only play one-day matches has to end. Shikhar Dhawan is a special case, so we shall discuss about that later. Even if the sport has 3 formats, it's the same sport. A simple game of bat and ball. The bowler's job is to take wickets, the batsman's job is to hit runs, fours, sixes, or centuries. So whether the batsman makes 40 of 100 balls or 100 of 40 balls is irrelevant. And if you agree with these changes, then what are you waiting for? Send me an email. And if you differ, well, send me an email as well, and we shall have a lengthy discussion on the same. And you never know, we might have you on my 100th episode. So, what are you waiting for? Pick up the phone and write your answers as to whether you agree with me or not. Send your emails, and we might just feature you in my next episode. The first individual to send an answer before 7th of August will be the lucky one who features in my 100th episode. So send me your answers by 7th August before 10 a.m. And stay tuned to this network, and your name might just feature. Thank you for listening to part 2 of this episode. I will be back next week for more exciting analysis. Till then, have a great weekend. Goodbye, good morning, and good night. So, if you want to be a part of my show, please send your valuable suggestions and send your recordings on topics ranging from sports, education, and entertainment on the email ID Aditya the writer at gmail.com. That is Aditya the writer at gmail.com. Thank you for listening to this episode. Please like and subscribe to my Facebook page and YouTube channel, and stay tuned for the next episode.